Hey, good afternoon, fam. Good afternoon. Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday. Just finished having lunch with a client of mine, a nurse, RN, and we're going over some life insurance options for her because she is 1099. Okay, so she's pretty much an independent contractor. She works for herself, and the company that she works for don't have any benefit. Well, usually when you're 1099 anyway, you don't have company benefits most of the time. So she didn't have any life insurance. On top of that, I came to find out today that she also doesn't have any retirement savings, right? And you know, I will I will keep going back to the article that I read November of last year from AARP that speaks on people between the age of 50 and 66. 20% of those people do not have any retirement savings. It's crazy because when I heard it, I couldn't believe it at first because in my mind I'm thinking people around that age group, you know like some of that retirement will be at the forefront of their mind. If they say like a 25-year-old or 30-year-old didn't have any retirement savings, that would be normal to me, because most people around that age are not thinking about, retirement at that age, right? So that would have been normal. But when they say people between the age of 50 and 66, I'm like, what? And it's crazy because after that article, I started to meet more and more people who who fit that category. So talking to her today, we initially went from just talking about life insurance to now talking about retirement, and I ran a few options for her. So we're gonna end up doing an IUL. But this is where education is vital, especially if you're an agent watching this. How you doing? And you're in the industry, and you know you are having issues marketing the IUL to your client. Number one is you got to be a student of the industry. You understand? So you kind of got to understand the industry, the product, okay? How the product, how you can use the product to service your client. You understand? How the product can benefit your client. If you don't study your craft, there's no way you can help a client understand what it is that you're trying to give to them. So sitting down with her and going through it, because like most people, she was under the impression that life insurance is just life insurance. Okay, I'm coming to you guys today from Montgomery County. This is the Rio. It's like a massive shopping center. If you're not from the DMV, you might not know it. Some people who are even from the DMV don't really know, where the Rio is. But this is in Montgomery County. It's actually in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Is where I am today, and that's where their client lives. So that's where we met today. Had lunch and went over some options. And she's a great saver. That's number one. She's a great saver. So this product will work well for her because she's already accustomed to saving money. She knows how to save money. But now what I've showed her is how to put that money, and she got almost close to 6 figures saved up by herself in a non-interest running account. So we're gonna shift that now into an IUL that's gonna allow her to really, really, really fast pace what she saved and to start to really have a brighter future, for retirement. So, I'm one. If you're an agent watching this, it's a Friday, and you want to get into marketing IULs, right? What I would suggest this weekend, probably for the next few weeks or so, or maybe even start taking some classes, about the IUL. But this weekend, get out whatever your company have in pertaining to the IUL and really start to understand it and start to get into it and dive into it and run numbers and proposals, right? Watch videos. Most companies have tutorials that they give their agents in reference to these IUL. Let me tell you something. If you're marketing IUL, you're not just making a sale, you're actually changing lives. You're changing lives, trust me. Because a lot of people, they're not thinking about retirement because nobody have given them a reason to think about retirement. If you really express to people how important it is to save for retirement, okay, and how they should start sooner than later, that is your job solely as an agent, to educate your client, to educate them, to let them know, hey, listen, if you don't do this, you might have a serious problem during retirement. That is solely your job. Your job is not to sell life insurance. Yes, you're a life insurance agent, you sell that need, but your job is more so to educate your clients. A lot of people are actually funding their retirement in heavily taxed accounts. That's also your job, to be able to educate them in reference to, where to put their money, so that way they can have more of it in retirement. That's your job. And if you take the time out to go through your company's tutorials, right? If you take the time out to go through the training, if you spend the extra money, if you have it, to take courses and seminars, I spend thousands of dollars a year going through courses, seminars, in different states to learn how to better position the IUL for clients, how to help my clients minimize taxation, how to put them in position that they have living benefits, God forbid, some health situation, fall on them, right? You gotta always constantly be learning. Learning never stops in business. It definitely never stops in insurance. It's not I get my license today and I don't read the product material, product manual, I don't go to classes. Let me tell you something, I've hired a lot of agents that they don't even get on my training calls. And then they're wondering why they don't make sales. You can't make sales because when you're sitting with clients, they don't understand what you're talking about. You understand? You're just out here trying to make a sale. But if you learn how to educate the client and how to better help the client understand what you're selling, they're most likely going to do business with you. But clients can smell when you're just trying to make a buck. And they can tell when someone's actually truly there for them. That's the difference between the agents who've lasted for a long time and who are doing well. There's agents who've lasted for a long time, but they don't make any sales. They just keep renewing their licenses. Okay? So they don't really know what they're doing for real. They just have their license and say, oh, they've been around for 10 years. Yes, you've been around, but you haven't really been around. Okay? It's the agent who understands the product that goes out and actually helps families. Because again, when an individual understands what you're putting in front of them, it's easier for them. Some people say, well, oh, Maxwell, how do you get somebody to pay $1,000 a month, to pay $2,000? I don't get nobody to do anything. All I do is educate them in reference to taxes, interest, retirement, insurance, estate planning, passing on generational wealth. How you doing? That's all I do is educate, and I go over the numbers, okay? And then whatever fits their budget is what they do. So I don't get anybody to do anything at the end of the day. All I do is educate, and then a person can make a sound decision themselves. Most agents don't do that. They just want to go in and say, oh, how much insurance you want? 10,000? Okay, no problem. Pull out the laptop and start writing. And then you wonder why agents who are skilled, agents who are intelligent, agents who are knowledgeable comes in and easily replace your policy, even though that person is your family member. Because when somebody comes in and that person can educate a person about what they have and what they need to have, and this person spending their money, they're gonna make a decision that's best for them. I done been into homes so many times where people have had policies that was written by their sisters, by their brothers, cousins, neighbors, and I done replaced it because I went in and I educated the client. I went in a few times where a client thought they had a whole life or permanent policy and just signed with the person out of trust. And I went and say, hey, show me the policy you have. And I go line by line with them and say, listen, this is a term policy you have here. This is what it's gonna do. Blah, 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 blah. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you need? And they will say, oh no, I thought this policy would last forever. I said, not this one. Okay? Because most agents go in to just make a sale. They never educate. So helping this young lady today, she's like, man, I didn't know life insurance can do all this. I just thought it's something you get and somebody dies, and they pay. Okay? I was like, nope. Life insurance is actually more than that. As a matter of fact, if you look at the word life insurance, it's not death insurance. True life insurance covers every aspect of your life. That's why it's called life insurance. It covers you in the event you're sick. You can pull money from it to take care of whatever financial need. It covers you in the event that you pass away due to an untimely death or even natural causes, right? And then it also covers you in retirement. It'll allow you to get money to live off of or to supplement what else you have going on, so that way you can live well. All these are aspects of your life: income, health, and also death. That's why it's called life insurance. You're insuring every aspect of my life. There's something called death insurance. That's those $5,000 policies, $10,000 policies. That's what's called death. Those are death insurance. But when we talk about true life insurance, it's cover you in mostly three aspects: health, income, and also death. All right. So I just wanted to take a moment out today to share with you guys some of this information. Had a wonderful meeting with this young lady. I'm gonna get her application submitted, so that way we get the ball rolling for that one. And once everything is finalized, she's dumping in at least 5 figures as a deposit into the plan. So which is good, because again, like I said in the beginning, she's always starting off as a person who knows how to save already anyway. So she already got money in the bank already saved up anyway. So she's in a great position. Now we're gonna make sure that money is making money for her while she's sleeping. It's what's called compounded interest, right? So listen, you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Happy Friday to y'all, and be safe out there. Talk to y'all soon.